I think I've been lying to myself for a very, very long time. And I think I've been lying to anybody and everybody who listens to Adult Chicken for now over a year because I have continued to say I'm not a competitive person. And as much as I genuinely believe I'm not competitive, or I don't care about winning things, I don't care about being first, but I think that's a little bit, no, it is a total lie because I don't care about competing against people, but I do find myself wanting to win. And it's more of like an internal win. I want to beat, win, achieve things that I was always told I could never do. And that's my competitive edge. I'm competitive with myself and I'm competitive with each and every person that's ever told me I can't do anything. That's a lot of people, especially when you grow up in my house and you're the person that no one really likes in the family. Everybody loves to tell you what you can't do. And it's always been my mission to say, oh, yes, I can. And it's made me very competitive. I think I look at a competitive person like somebody in sports or somebody who wants to win things like pageants or enter things that I have no business in entering or being part of. And I've not ever been into those things. Or I lost a couple of them at an early age and never wanted to revisit that trauma of my life. But I am competitive. And again, it's mostly with myself. I'm Nikki Lynn Chase, and this is my podcast, Adult Chicken. It's about navigating life's unexpected. These are my stories. This is my journey about being a single mom to two special needs kids. One of my special needs kids, Sandler, who is going to be 16 in August. If you've listened to any of these, or you know us or know of us, you know that skateboarding is the biggest thing to have happened to us. It is our life. We are so immersed in the culture. It's our everything. It is what he started doing that has propelled his cognitive, his social, our social as a family. Bootsy, my daughter, who is going to be 20 in a couple of days, it's propelled our existence. And he decided right at the beginning, we had unintentionally gone to a couple of competitions or contests. I didn't realize they were contests. I thought we were getting invited to an event with free pizza. And everybody was just enjoying skating. And then I caught on pretty quickly once we got there that they were contests. And he didn't realize it was a contest. They would call his name and tell him it was his turn. He kind of thought of it more as I'm getting to do a show. But then as the energy increased or the kids got a little bit edgier or nastier, he picked up on the fact that it was a competition. And I could feel his energy. He got very, very competitive, but mostly with himself. And then he was really hard on himself. And then I'd get the anxiety because I'm like, here we go. We're going to have some sort of emotional outburst. He's going to freak out because he's not understanding how competitions work, how contests work. And after a couple of times of that, he came to me. And again, he didn't quite understand how the whole dynamic of the contest worked. But he knew he didn't like the feeling of it. And I said, it's okay. You don't have to be a contest kid. You don't have to be that at all. In fact, I'd prefer not. Because I can't be a contest mom. I'd watch these parents and they would go, now I still continue to watch these parents. And I don't know, I think some of them are living vicariously through their kids. I think some of them are trying to make their childhood dreams come through their children. It's painful to watch some of them. Some of them are just downright mean to their kids. Go higher, do more, better, that's unacceptable. It gives me PTSD from tennis parents that I remember vividly from my childhood. And I'm very grateful he's decided early on in his skateboarding life not to be a contest kid. And I think it brought me back to a time in my life where there were a couple things I entered. Of course, there was tennis, and I didn't like the whole competitive part of the tennis. For me, when tennis stopped being fun, when I started feeling the pressure of I was supposed to be a good tennis player and I was supposed to win things, and I was a disappointment if I didn't win things, that's when I didn't want to play anymore. I was more of a positive reinforcement kid. I needed the positive reinforcement, and that didn't exist in my tennis career. So I stopped doing it. And then I think the thing I remember next was running for office in junior high school. There were positions. There was head girl and there was head boy. And I knew I wasn't going to run for a head girl because I was very awkward and not popular whatsoever in junior high school. And I knew I didn't have a snowball's chance in that, but I really did want to run. I wanted to be on the student council. And I kind of looked at the competition and I thought maybe treasurer. No idea what a treasurer did, but I thought I'd like to be a treasurer. I mean, it sounds like a treasure, and I still don't know anything about finance or money, so perfect thing for me not to run for, but that's what I chose to run for. And I happened to be running against two people. There was my friend who at the time was I'd call her one of my best friends in junior high school. She was running, and I thought, well, that'll be a friendly competition. And then there was this guy who I thought, not in a million, 10 years will he win. He only became a salutatorian, I think, of high school. Kid was brilliant. I think he went to Stanford or Harvard or something like that. But I got all into it. I made posters. I thought I was so creative and clever. And then we all, for I don't know if it was a week or two, hung our posters all over the hallway. And mine weren't as good as some others. You could tell some of the kids didn't do them themselves at all. Their parents clearly did, and especially those that were running for head boy and girl. And it was just a popularity contest, and I could tell that right off the bat. That's why I chose to run for treasurer. Figured I had a chance for that class of popularity. And I didn't win, and I was devastated. It not only told me I didn't have a snowball's chance in contests in school, but it destroyed my little friendship with my friend. That the week or two that the campaigning was happening, she and I didn't speak to each other. It wasn't a friendly competition, and I did not like how that made me feel. I didn't like that it created a rift between us. I didn't like that I got catty about the guy who ended up winning. I had all kinds of kind of nasty things I said about him. Oh, well, no one's going to vote for him. Mean. It made me mean. I didn't like that. That was very out of character for me. And now I'm having a flashback to also when I signed myself up to be in a pageant. I think that was junior high school too. And that was a disaster. My mom didn't support it. I think she just was excited she got rid of me for a night. I remember I went and stayed in a hotel in Denver, and I stayed with a fellow contestant of the pageant. And I had to borrow, my mom she was not going to invest any money in me being in this pageant. I think it was like Miss Teen Colorado or something. And there were the reality pageant moms before reality shows existed. So all these moms were there prepping their kid. I got dropped off at this hotel. It was in a hotel ballroom. We stayed one night. I stayed with a fellow contestant. She ended up winning Miss Congeniality. I didn't even win that. I wore my friend's sister's prom dress. It was about 5 sizes too big. Tripped on it on the runway. I just remember tripping, ripping the dress, falling down on the runway, and I certainly didn't place in the pageant, and I certainly couldn't get out of there fast enough because I felt like an idiot. And that was it. That was my shot at doing anything competitive. And then the other contests that were available and up for grabs that I just was never allowed to be part of were the fundraisers. So it's funny because I wasn't allowed to go door to door either. So in my junior high and high school years, maybe even elementary school, I'm sure, when there were prizes to be won, you would go around with lotions and potions, or you'd go around with magazines or wrapping paper. My brother and I were never allowed to go door to door to sell that stuff. My mom said, you don't go to people's homes and ask them for money. We were never taught about fundraising. I didn't know about fundraising. I had no clue that those were things for the school, that we were raising money for the school. I just thought if your parents let you go door to door and you sold the most, you get an awesome prize. And I never got a prize because I was never allowed to do it. Granted, my mom was the one that could go and sign her name on my student loans and collect money that way, like a more criminal way, and she was the good cause. But I was not allowed to do that for raising money. Actually, it wasn't until I had my kids and got really immersed in the different nonprofits that exist. The Dream Street, the camp that Bootsy has attended since she was 5, where they have a camp that's fully equipped to handle children who are terminally and chronically ill, and the kids go away for a week without their parents and are completely taken care of and have the best time of their lives, and their dreams come true for an entire week. And as soon as I learned that, oh my gosh, that's fundraising. They need money to operate. It's completely free for the parents of these kids. And I thought, that's fundraising? That makes sense. Who wouldn't, if you had extra money, give money to something like that? It gives me the chills to just talk about it. Then before I left Colorado, I got involved and helped run a nonprofit for adaptive skiing and snowboarding. What an incredible opportunity. Bootsy would go, and there were these instructors. The instructors got as much out of it as the kids did, because they were working with all these special needs kids who just smiled and enjoyed every minute. It wasn't like the typical ski school kids where you see these kids just bawl their faces off. They didn't want to be there. Everyone that was involved in this adaptive program called Small Champions wanted to be there. It was the most beautiful, awesome experience ever. Well, then I started really understanding, because I started working for that organization, how fundraising worked and how that's what got these families who couldn't afford, a lot of them, including myself, couldn't afford to send your kid snowboarding because it's a gazillion dollars, even if you live there, even if you've got passes. The equipment, everything is so expensive. This program gave that to these kids, and it was incredible. So I started understanding there were some foundations, there were some organizations that deserved the hard work that fundraising took. So recently I'd seen on social media the opportunity to enter a contest to win a chance to skateboard with the legendary Tony Hawk. And I thought, oh my God, the opportunity to skate with Tony Hawk. It was just a no-brainer. I just immediately thought, oh, Sandler's got to win. Sandler's got to enter, and Sandler's got to win, because there is not another kid on this planet that would appreciate that more than my kid. And it supports the skate park project. I've always been a huge fan and supporter of the skate park project. So let me just read the mission of the skate park project. Founded by skate legend Tony Hawk, the skate park project has been helping underserved communities create safe and inclusive public skate parks for youth since 2002. I know that that's their mission, because I've been a huge supporter of the skate park project, because the skate park is what saved me and my kid and my daughter. And the contest was due to start a couple weeks ago. Well, backing up a couple weeks ago, we went down south and had one of the best days of skateboarding ever. I didn't even skateboard, but Sandler, we went down for a friend's birthday. The birthday party took place at a skate park. I got us a hotel room. We were going to just make a little sort of staycation out of the whole event. And we went down. I have to explain to him when we go to sort of overstimulating events that, look, this isn't about you. This is somebody else's birthday. It's about them. It's not the Sandler show. We're just going to go skate. Sometimes it's hit or miss with the kids being nice or not nice. And I said, it's the park is huge, and you know where to go. We've skated it a million times. Just remember, we've got a hotel. We'll go swimming after. Just enjoy yourself. Just have fun. We're just there for fun. Well, he ended up doing an incredible trick. All the who's who of skateboarding was there, and he ends up doing this amazing, it's called a layback trick, and his photograph is taken. Everybody's videoing it. Everybody's cheering him on. The birthday was a smash hit, not just because Sandler did the trick, but everybody was nice and everybody enjoyed themselves. And as a bonus, he did the best trick of his whole entire life, executed it perfectly, and it was awesome. And then we celebrated by going to the hotel. Bootsy, Sandler, and I get to the hotel. The girl is so amazed I've got knee pads on. And she said my mom would never skateboard. And I said, well, you can be in our family. And we just get to talking. Boom, we get upgraded. She was so sweet. She put us in the nicest room. And then it was late. We wanted to get to the pool. So we needed to eat at the restaurant, which I don't typically do. It was a really nice restaurant. And I knew it was going to be really expensive because a lot of hotel restaurants are. And I thought, well, kids, we're celebrating, so let's just go for it. But really, I was starting to panic just about the price. Everything, and I was going, oh shit, I hope I can afford this, oh shit. So we get our dinner, and I ordered a couple celebratory desserts for having just the best day ever. And I get the bill, and it's just got the desserts on it. And I said to the waiter, I said, there's a mistake, you have to give me the other bill. He said, no, I don't. He said, a wonderful, beautiful woman paid for your meal. I looked around, there was no one in there, and I thought, you gotta be kidding me. Like, this is the best day ever. I actually packed my journal and I set my alarm so I'd wake up early in the morning so I could bottle that experience. I didn't want it to go. I just wanted to be able to reflect and relive that, or at least look back and have written down what had happened, because it was such an awesome time. We had just the best time. And then kind of went to shit in a handbasket real quick. I guess that was a Sunday. Woke up Monday, I wrote it out, and life. It started up again, and it was a Monday, and it was okay. Now we've got to get home, and okay, we've got this, that, and the other thing to deal with and to manage. And I realized, I thought, oh shit, the contest. I think the contest just started. And I thought, okay, I got to get things on social media. And I don't like to do it. I don't like the pressure of feeling like I have to put things out on social media. And if anybody who's listening to Adult Chicken, you might know my struggle with self-promotion. It's not my comfort zone. I don't like to self-promote. It's a little easier when it's my kids, and Sandler's very congenial, but I just told him, I said, hey, you need to make a video. Here's what you're doing. I didn't want to tell him before the contest actually started, because it's hard for me to answer every 5 minutes the question of, have I won? Did I win? And I knew I needed to explain what it was he was signed up to do. And it's tricky with both my kids, but especially Sandler. It's tricky to get him to understand the rules of things. If I mention something, it kind of automatically is like, I get to do this. And so I was careful. I handled it with kid gloves, and I just said, hey, I've entered you in a contest to skate with Tony Hawk. And he lit up like a Christmas tree. I'm going to skate with Tony Hawk? What? No. I entered you in a contest. I'm not a contest kid, Mommy. I don't like contests. You don't have to skate in a contest. I put it up. I showed him the picture. I showed him all the verbiage. I read it out. I read what I had written on his profile. And I'd asked him a couple questions. Like when I was filling out his profile, he didn't know what I was doing it for, but I had asked him to answer the questions. So he knew. But getting him to understand that he hadn't won, that he wasn't going to automatically get the opportunity. I said, this is something you have to work for. Like, we've got a week where people vote for you. And so then he saw that as his magical opportunity. He loves the excuse to send people text messages. We're working. He's a work in progress as far as understanding what you can and can't text people. So he immediately was like, does this mean I can text everybody I know? And I said, you can. Send them this link. They can vote. People got really excited. I was putting it on Facebook. I was putting it on Instagram. It was all over Sandler's Instagram. And people were getting really excited. Like, Sandler's got to win. People who know Sandler thought, oh, God, if anybody's got to win this, Sandler's got to win this. And immediately you have the opportunity. And, of course, they make it really easy to donate money. And for every dollar you put down, you'd get that many votes, right? So I get the incentive. If you put down $50, that's 50 votes. And some incredibly generous people were texting me, hey, I just put down $100. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is incredible. And then the switch hit me. And I thought, oh shit, I feel like I'm kind of asking people for money. I mean, it's not me, it's a contest, But I started realizing, because I started feeling like I needed Gamblers Anonymous or something, because I started thinking, what credit card has a little bit of money where I can buy votes? And I thought, well, this is kind of messed up politics. Like, I'm buying votes and people are buying my kid votes. Then somebody sent me a message and said, oh, Sandler's got to win. I looked at his competition. I thought, how do you do that? And he told me, he's like, you can look at who is underneath Sandler. And I got real judgy. This yucky, competitive, icky person kind of came out in me, where I'm looking at his competition going, well, they don't deserve to win. Oh my God, that guy looks like he smoked crack. Oh my God. And I got so judgy. And then as the week went on, they were going to end the contest on Thursday. Sandler slipped into second. The first week of this contest, in my defense, I didn't know it went on for several weeks. But this is week one. And I feel like somebody I don't recognize. I'm getting competitive. I'm spending all of my time on social media. I hate that. I don't like that. I get overwhelmed. He's enjoying it. He's enjoying making the videos. He's enjoying the production of everything, because we're putting together things where we play a game of vote. I'm giving him vote tattoos. We're doing this whole charade, but it's exhausting. It's a lot of work. Campaigning is a lot of work. He's being treated kind of like the president. I'm like the schleppy doing all the work behind the scenes, making my little president look good. I'm campaigning my ass off. And then we get to Thursday, which is the final day, or what I think is the final day to vote. And I'm like, this is it. This is it. I've got everybody on social media. The countdown has begun. Sandler slips into second place. You can see this by going on to the votes. What makes you want to vote more? Makes you want to give more money. Thank God it's a project I support. But I start getting pissed. And I start feeling feelings I don't typically have. And I've got this competitive edge in me that's coming out, and it's making me bitter. It's making me excited. It's making me anxious. It's making me all these things that I don't typically like to feel in one fell swoop. But I really didn't like the judgment aspect. But then this feeling the next day when it said Sandler has advanced to round 2. I thought, excuse me, round 2? There are multiple rounds? You got to be kidding me. My friend and I went on a walk that morning, and she mentioned that she had read the fine print, that she had looked at the thing. And I was pissed. I was pissed at myself because I didn't read the fine print. She made a point of saying, well, if you read the fine print, you would know. And I said, I didn't. I was very defensive and said, remember, that's how I inherited my dead mother's body. I didn't even learn from that experience. If that didn't teach me, what will? Then I was mad. I was mad at the skateboard project. I felt bamboozled. I felt like, oh my God, I have just asked people for money. I've just asked people for money. Oh my God. I just got a text from a friend of mine yesterday that wanted Sandler to get back up into first place. And he advanced into first place again. But probably because I'd put all this pressure on everybody on my social media, his social media, said, you got to vote for him. Oh my God, my kid has slipped. I didn't realize that he was just going into the top 20. And then it's the top 20 of his category. I had a little bridge to cross, because I thought, do we keep doing this? I feel like I've just asked people for money. You've got free votes, but they don't make the free voting that easy. They make it kind of tricky. The paying for votes, that's the easiest thing in the world. Anybody could do that. As long as you've got the money, they make that so simple. But I kept pushing buttons, like trying to get the free votes, and it doesn't work that way, or I couldn't figure it out. I'm not in that technology savvy world. Round two comes up. It's a whole other week. I sat down with Sandler. I said, here's the deal. Because he kept asking me every minute of each and every day that whole entire week, did I win? Did I win? He was looking to see what place he was in. I watched the smile just fade into a frown when he saw that he was in second. I am sure he picked up on my energy of like, oh, motherfucker, you're not going to lose this. We've been number one for too long. I started becoming that mom. I started becoming that ugly mom that I've seen at the skate park that's drilling her kid, that competitive tunnel vision of my kid's got to win. And I didn't like it. So Sandler and I sat down after he did advance in the first place position into round two. And I said, Sandler, and he kind of, I think it was over it. Like, well, I thought I was going to win. I think he had gotten so excited, and I'd gotten so excited for him, and I felt like I'd failed my kid miserably. And I said, you know what? I think this is a life lesson. I think we need to, I think it becomes who wants it the most. And I think we don't give up on this. And maybe I read the fine print next time. And what I liked is when we had really talked about, and he was so adamant he was going to get this session with Tony Hawk, and all he cared about was playing a game of skate. And I said, and then you win $10,000. And he said, is that a lot of money? I said, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And he said, I'm going to take you to Hawaii for your 50th birthday. So selfishly, of course, I was like, yeah, you do actually have to win this. You got to win this because I really do want to selfishly go to Hawaii for my 50th birthday. And there's no other way we're going to Hawaii for my 50th birthday unless you win this contest. So we continued. Then when he made it into the second round, I knew that he would it would lose momentum. And in fact, I felt like I needed to explain to people that I was unaware, and I apologize. I took it so personally, and I felt like I had done the thing that my mom had taught me not to do, and that was go around and ask for money for a fundraiser. And it took a friend of mine kind of talking me off that cliff, saying, you didn't, and they have the option to vote for free, and it's not you asking for money, and it's a legitimate good cause. So once I redirected myself, got behind that, and I explained to Sandler what it does, he got back on board, and he was excited again. Started making more videos, started having a really good time with it. He's like, maybe you could give me a vote tattoo. Yeah. So we did Mom's vote tattoo. We started really having a good time. The energy kind of shifted. My friend, I did feel the need to explain to people and apologize for not reading the fine print and telling people that thank you for donating, but we might have a few more rounds of this. I don't know exactly how many because that's too far into my future. I don't like to go that far into my future. It gives me severe anxiety, but I do know there are at least 3 rounds. Sandler recently advanced to the 3rd round, but backing up to when I was apologizing for all of the effort and the asking and the begging and the pleading for votes, a friend of mine messaged me and said, congrats to Sandler for moving up. Sorry about the discovery that the finish line has moved again. I imagine it's going to be challenging to keep up the intensity of the journey for votes and a victory. I'll continue to monitor his progress. And once I got that message, I realized that people weren't looking at me as somebody that was going around asking for money to vote for my kids. That's not what it was. It was not my revisiting back to my childhood when my mother said, don't go around door to door asking for money. That's not what those fundraisers were. That was the incentive, was you were going to get a prize and you'd get money. And I like to believe that all the money for the schools went to a good cause, and schools obviously need money to run. The skateboard project needs money, and it's very expensive to put skate parks places. People, I think, look at skate parks like it's just a chunk of cement, a place for people to go roll around. Well, speaking from experience, skate park has saved our lives. It has saved Sandler. Sandler's not a kid who can skateboard on the street. He likes the idea of street skating. He likes the idea of skating with friends, just being out and free and about. That's not ever going to be his life. It's just not our lives. And when I first got Sandler into skateboarding, I found somebody to mentor him. And that was more of, he can skate. He needs ideas behind it. He needs to know how to execute certain things. But he needs to navigate a skate park. Because a skate park is a safe place for us. It's a safe place for us to go. We're outside. Most of them, you're confined in a fenced-in area. It's a place for us to go socially. It's for me as a single mom to 2 special needs kids. It's a place where we're embraced. It brings a community together. It's our whole entire social network. I don't go out clubbing. I don't go out to bars drinking. I don't go out on a whole bunch of social excursions where I'm meeting all kinds of people. I've met more people at the skate park. And oddly enough, a lot of people my age and older at the skate park. This is our community. These are our people. This is our family. This is what has become our tribe of people. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Sandler Chase, the host of Special Edition, and also the person who has made it to the third round of Skate Park Hero, which is the contest that is being held to fund the skate park project. Sandler.
Hi, my name is Sandler Chase. I'm the host of Special Edition. This is my mommy, Nikki Chase.
Thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
So Sandler, what is up this week? What is going on? What's been going on for about 2 weeks now, maybe 3 weeks?
I'm in a contest. And the contest is, let me tell you what the contest is. The contest is, if I win, I can spend a day with Tony Hawk and play a game of skate with him. And other reason, I can get $10,000 and take my mommy to a special trip to Hawaii for her 50-year birthday.
Right? You get the chance, the opportunity, if you win,
to skate with Tony Hawk.
And then you also win $10,000. And you said you wanted to, and maybe I did mention it, you want to take me to Hawaii for my 50th birthday. Did I tell you that's what I wanted with you to do with the money?
No, I did it all by myself.
And that was kind of the coolest thing ever. Now, I have to say, selfishly, it makes me really want you to win. But mostly I want you to win because I know your dream would be...
Skating with Tony Hawk.
Yes, I know that's been a dream of yours since you started skating.
Mm-hmm.
You decided a while ago, a couple years ago, as a matter of fact, you didn't want to be a contest kid.
No, I don't like contest because it really pushed me to get my tricks down.
That's fair.
Sorry, excuse me.
Nope.
And I like to I'm not being mean, but I hate contests because it made me really think really hard, and I don't want to be that kid who I want to have fun.
Yeah, there is a lot of pressure that goes with being in a contest because you are having to land that trick at that moment when it's your spot to go. Say do a run or do your line is what I think we call it in skating, right?
Line.
Do you feel any pressure with this contest? I know you're not skateboarding,
No.
but do you feel any pressure?
No.
No.
Nothing. No. Sorry.
Nope.
If I'm with skating in a contest, then yes, get a lot of people watching me.
Right. Okay, so let me ask you this. You learned a word today. Do you remember what that word was that you learned? You didn't know the meaning of it, but you learned it today?
No. What
I asked you if you looked really tired.
Oh, yes, I was yawning.
You were yawning. You were really looking, and you're rubbing your eyes, and you looked really tired. And I asked you what you were so busy doing or why you were so tired. And what did you tell me?
I was campaigning.
Do you know what campaigning means?
No. Tell me, Mom.
It means when you are running for something, like the President of the United States. You're running for something. You're going to campaign. So what you're doing right now is campaigning. And I mentioned this earlier when I was talking on the podcast, that some campaigns I have a hard time getting behind because I might not like the person running for the contest, right? Or wanting to win, ultimately, a position. I believe in you.
I believe in myself, too.
Yes, and I think you're deserving. Why are you deserving of winning this contest?
I think I should win because I've been taking a lot of practice. I'm really good at skating. I'm a handsome guy. Like everybody think I got a big heart inside of me.
You do have a big heart inside of you. So you're handsome, you're good at skateboarding, and you have a big heart. Are there any other reasons you think you're deserving of winning this contest?
My laybacks.
Oh yeah, you've got a great layback. That's a trick for those that don't skateboard, right?
A layback show you put your hand on the coping and you lay back.
That's right. That it really fits the trick because you lay back and you lay so far back it's shocking you can get back up and roll away.
Yeah. If I win, I would be happy. I would be appreciated, and I would be probably freak out, and I might have happy teal.
Yeah, happy tears. I would definitely have happy tears because I'd also get to go to Hawaii. But what would you, if you had the opportunity to spend a day with them and talk to them, what are some things you'd like to know?
Or like if we sit down and talk.
Yeah, if you had the chance to sit down and talk.
Like he feels.
How he feels.
And how he's become
the skateboarder that he is. Mm-hmm. Now I know there's one question because you ask everybody you first meet.
What your favorite color?
Yeah, I knew you'd ask him that, and I know you're gonna hope he says
green.
But if he doesn't,
I would still say that. Tony, that's sick. I like that color too. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he'll appreciate that, and that's really nice.
And then if I win, I'm gonna write him a note.
Oh yeah?
A picture of me and him skating the wood.
That would be amazing, and I bet he'd really appreciate that. Well, I wish you all the luck in the world, and
thank you. And I wish I could get that $100,000 cash. I can take you to Hawaii.
Me too. It's not quite 100,000, but you know what? It's 10,000, which is a lot more money than either one of us have seen. So, Sandler, I'm gonna let you use this opportunity on this edition. What is ringing?
You.
Why?
You're so cute.
Why is your ear ringing? Why?
I don't know.
Why is music playing?
You're talking to me.
What?
You're talking to me.
Is it done?
I think so.
Okay. So Sandler, okay. So I'm gonna. Is it done?
I think so.
Ow! Something just bit me. All right. So Sandler, earlier this week you said, or last week you said you were the most. Something just bit my leg. Okay. Last week. Okay. Pull it together. Last week you said you were the most committed skater ever, but you also said you were the most committed to this contest. So I'm going to let you use that commitment and hosting this part of the podcast to campaign for yourself. You're in it to win it, and you're doing a great job, and you've made it to each round in first place. And I don't know if we mentioned it, but what is the contest called?
Skate Park Hero.
And you can find Sandler on there or click into his Instagram bio. And there's a link that takes you directly to Skate Park Hero.
So thank you for watching. Thank you for this episode, and I will see you on the next one.
What's the next one about? Do you remember?
The next episode is about my sister's birthday.
Because she's turning...
Big O, 2. 1, 2.
No, she's not 12. She's 20.
Oh, 20.
2,
0. 0. The big O, 2, 0. Big O. Big O.
The big 2-0.
The big 2-0. 220. 20.
So please tune in next week for the big birthday episode about Bootsy's 20th birthday. We can't talk about it now because it's going to happen and she can't hear or know what the plan is. So please tune in. Where can they find me?
On Spotify, Apple Podcasts,
And YouTube.
and YouTube, YouTube and Instagram, adult_chicken.
Right, but Spotify, Apple Podcast, Adult Chicken, YouTube Adult Chicken, Instagram, Adult_Chicken, and the website, which is adultchicken.com.
And you can also get a trucker hat.
That's right. Speaking of donations, we've been asking for all these votes, and those votes, if people donate money, it goes to a good cause. And if you donate money on Adult Chicken, you can find the donation button on the website. And if anybody donates $100 and over, what happens, Sandler?
You can get a trucker hat, Adult Chicken.
These are made for me by my sponsor, Seagal, S-E-A, Gal. You can find her online. And any and all donations are very much appreciated and go towards me independently running my mouth and this podcast.
And also, special edition, you can find me. I'm going to be in it, adult chicken. Yeah. So thank you for.
Oh, yes. And you just tune in always to find my host here, Sandler Chase.
And thank you for let me be on your podcast.
Thanks for being my kid on my podcast. I love you.
Bye.